and I'm not certain of the work session schedule in November. Is it a possibility to have the actual public comment section as a work session prior to that meeting within the action item on the agenda for the November 17th meeting?
I need to look and see if we have a work session scheduled.
I don't know what's
Did
scheduled
we?
for November.
I don't think, do we have?
No,
we don't. Okay, so we.
I want to break from work session protocol or something like that. If we're, because you can have public comments.
It truly doesn't matter to me, but that way it's just a more of an open forum session that we can open for the public.
So you're wanting to maybe do it at 6 before, have a work?
That's only one guy suggesting it.
I wouldn't necessarily be objecting to what you've just said. I wouldn't mind having it as a work session before the
Ryan, is there something I'm not taking into consideration with that?
Well, here's the thing. If you do a work session, then you won't do minutes like you would for council, and you won't do action during that work session. So if that's,
if it's truly an
you're
opportunity
okay
for
with
public
that.
comment, I think that's certainly fine.
Okay.
Because there'll still be a recording of that.
Yes.
So there'll be access to it, but it doesn't need that officially recorded meeting,
Okay.
just to say who spoke.
Okay.
It'll
Let's
be
do
the
good
same
with that.
presentation that you'll
That's a
have
great
minutes that
option.
were read.
That's
Okay.
a great option to me.
So that means that potentially we wouldn't take any action on it until December.
No,
Well, I
we
think
could take
leave
action
it on the
in
meeting
November.
for the 17th. We have that session, and then I think that provides an opportunity. If someone feels so inclined, they could ask for it to be tabled once again, but.
You could.
I think if we have the meeting there and we get the comments, and that also gives everyone nearly a full month to review it, since it's now going to be presented as part of tonight's minutes, and they could question all they would like of their council members and their city staff if they choose to. I don't know how we can provide more opportunity at that point.
That is a great option, and I would be in favor of that.
I have a question, sorry, this is a protocol, like, I'm assuming, like, not only, like, this layout would be available for citizens to download and review before the meeting, but also, like, the total cost breakdowns?
It's all available on the website.
Okay, just making sure.
As we speak.
It's the full booklet there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
On the website.
Back to the question at the end,
I think there's a motion.
I don't think there was a, you wanna make a?
I move that we table, new business item number 5 until the November 17th meeting, at which point we will have a work session for public input, and then the item will be officially on the agenda.
Second.
Motion Harrison, second Shute, that we table new business item number 5 till the November 17th, until November 17th for a work session, and then council action item. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. So that is the end of the new business items. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
And that takes us to council updates. Is there anyone on staff that has an update for the council?
Chair.
I do. Can I?
Please.
Okay. I'd like to provide an update on the recruitment process for the police chief. You'll recall last time we recruited for police chief, we talked about the best practices according to the International City Management Association, and we included law enforcement personnel. This time we are, with the assistance of our recruiter, we are also implementing something that's a little bit leading edge, a little bit different practice, and that's going to involve a selection panel that will include 2 residents from our community, as well as our mayor and council president will sit with me as we go through the interview process. The recruiter has received close to 60 applications. At this point, it's open until filled, so he continues to receive applications. He's narrowed down that list, provided me with a short list. We have been able to get Mr. Rob Shippey from the school board to sit with us, since they're one of our partners, and we provide services to them, as well as Jenny Lively, who is one of our community service organization representatives. We are looking to have those interviews next month, and then we will be bringing a recommendation as a result of that committee, that 5-panel committee, to this council. So we're trying to get community engagement on this process, and I just wanted to give an update on how we're going to be engaging members of the community as part of this process.
Okay. Rich, if you've got a question, I'd suggest calling or emailing a council member So I'd be glad to hear from you myself as well. Anyone else on staff? Council have any updates for staff?
I have a question. When's the urban, farming coming back up?
We have posted a notice of a public hearing by the Planning Commission in November.
Okay.
And so that would get to the city council. We're trying to get it in before the end of the year. So if not the second meeting in December, the first meeting in December.
Great, thank you.
Anyone else? I've got a couple of things. Yeah, Councilman Scoot and I attended the League of Kansas Municipalities annual conference weekend before last, in Wichita, and they've got a new executive director, and they're on their game, and not just a little bit. And I know everybody's got a sheet here for the regional suppers. I would encourage everyone to go take a chance to meet the new executive director, Eric Sartorius. A very bright guy, and he seems to be getting the most out of his staff there. I think that we can speak for the councilman that we came back with some ideas that hopefully we'll share with staff, and maybe they'll make their way before council at some point. Additionally, the accepting of applications for the open city council position expired at 5 o'clock today. We've got 8 different people that have applied, and those include Sean Carlisle, Kara Duchesne, Todd Winters, Randy Grigorczyk, Steve McNear, Lee Moore, Carissa Headley, and Clinton Barney. Now, maybe, Jeannie, we're going to get the applications out to council members in advance of the November 3rd meeting, correct?
Yes.
You want to discuss a little bit about the gathering of questions that we want to submit, because we're going to try and get solicit some questions from the community.
Sure. We will solicit questions from council when I send out the applications, and then we also ask the community to submit 1 or 2 questions, and then we'll compile a short list of questions, so that every applicant is asked a standard number of questions, the same questions.
The idea being everybody gets asked the same questions. It allows for a little bit of follow-up, but we need to establish a baseline for everyone, and then, if we need somebody to amplify their answer or specify, it'll give us the opportunity to do that. But, with any luck, at the November 3rd meeting, maybe we'll get somebody that separates themselves from the pack. But if not, then we might end up having to do a second round of interviews for the second council meeting in November. But I think I can only speak for myself here, but I'd like to get somebody seated as soon as possible.
I agree.
So yeah, get your questions into Jeannie as soon as possible, and we'll vet out a proper amount and go from there. The next meeting ought to be plenty exciting.
One question for you, Mr. Mayor. With the number of applicants that are going to be brought forth to the council, knowing it's a large amount of applicants, and we want to hear all of them and give them all an opportunity to speak, are we going to put a time limit on those interview sessions for each?
Well, I think that what we discussed previously was, we're going to give everybody an opportunity to make about a 2-minute opening statement if they would like.
Okay.
Everybody gets asked the same amount of questions. Everybody gets about a minute for a closing comment. If anybody's got other suggestions on how that should be handled, we are going to try and limit the amount of questions. But hopefully we will be able to separate someone out to serve with us for the rest of Councilman Fotovich's.
Thank you.
Anyone else have any? If not, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion Shute, second Harrison, that we adjourn. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? We are adjourned.
Okay, Sean.